So there's this movie called Left Behind. It's based on a book called Left Behind, and there's a remake of the original movie also called Left Behind, starring Nicolas Cage, and a lot of people have seen that. But the original version, Left Behind, the movie, is so much wilder than you could possibly imagine. The movie is about this idea called the rapture, which you might have heard of. It's this belief held by some Christians that at some point, living believers will be taken up by God, raptured, if you will, along with deceased believers in heaven. And some people believe that'll be followed by 7 years of suffering or some sort of tribulation for the people who are left behind. This all is heavily debated and everyone has their own interpretation, okay? Now, I've never watched this movie, but I've heard of it growing up in the church. I've heard rumors, inklings about it. And it absolutely terrified me. This destroyed me. To this day, I'll be talking to my wife in the other room. She'll stop talking because she's like distracted or something. I'll be like, oh, she's raptured. Dang it. I knew it would happen. So my mission for this YouTube video is to watch this movie and finally get over my fear of the rapture. That's the goal. Kind of like exposure therapy almost. Whether you believe in it or not, you're Christian or something else, first of all, thank you for being here. You're welcome here. Second of all, I don't think we should be afraid of it. The most repeated command in the Bible is do not fear. And while I totally get if you believe in God, like respecting him and fearing him as like an authority figure, I don't think these Bible horror movies were going for that. I don't think that was their goal. I don't know. The only thing we know for certain is that this movie is silly with a very heavy topic. It's got a low budget and a crazy premise. I mean, immediately from the beginning, you know what epicness you're about to get into. Jerusalem, 6 p.m. We have this very methodical zoom in on the Dome of the Rock, which is a famous Islamic building. Okay. Getting pretty close. I would like it to keep going though. Like it goes all the way down to the molecular level. We see bacteria get raptured. That would be crazy. And then we have a montage of these people doing like very normal things, but like the most dramatic music. And you might be thinking, okay, if they're playing spooky music, it's about to cut to something a little bit spooky. No, it just switches places and then gives us a new time. Which, like, why do we need the time in Jerusalem then? Or the time now? You don't need to keep updating us every 3 minutes. Like, okay, it's 6:06 now. There's more shots of planes and helicopters. And then it cuts to a new place, the Syrian-Israeli border. And then it gives us the time again. And it's still 6:03. You don't need to keep doing this. Every time you cut to a new shot, you don't have to update us on the time. It's okay. Mediterranean Sea, 6:04 p.m. Can we just can we stop? Maybe there's some like biblical prophecy. Someone will come in at 6, another person at 6:03, another person also at 6:03, and the next at 6:04. That's how you know the rapture is coming. Maybe it's something like that, and they really want to hone in on that, but I think they just really want you to know what time it is, and that's funny to me.
And as the world faces the most serious food shortage in history.
So the world is in a food crisis. There's a famine happening in the world, and there's this reporter on the case named
Buck Williams, and I'm standing in a wheat field in the middle of the Israeli desert.
And he's like, not that good of a reporter, honestly.
Dr. Rosenzweig, it looks like Iowa.
We've truly been blessed with a miracle.
Yes, it's a miracle. We've been wanting to move to Iowa for a long time now. God has blessed us. Now the rapture can happen, actually. I'm happy to go. But he has developed a formula that helps plants grow or something. That's kind of as specific as they ever get. They don't really delve into the formula. They don't really call it anything other than the formula. That's really the length they go to into explaining this. So the planes we saw earlier are like bombing them. I don't really know why. But these cameramen are the most dedicated cameramen I've ever seen. They are in the middle of getting bombed and they're still like holding their equipment, which is definitely slowing them down. They're like, we rented this equipment, we can't lose it, okay? This equipment is not gonna be left behind, the movie. They go hide in this military bunker of sorts. I don't know really where they are and why there's a military bunker in the ground. We're not gonna ask those types of questions. But randomly, these planes start falling out of the sky. And everyone's perplexed. They're confused. They're like, why are these planes falling? That doesn't make any sense. So Buck is like, I gotta film this. Planes are both dropping bombs and also falling. And he's like, this would make a sick TikTok video. We gotta go viral here. Come on. I'm gonna do a sick dance as planes fall in the background and explode. It'll be cool. No, it'll be awesome.
This is Buck Williams reporting live from Israel. This is just unbelievable. This has got to be the biggest surprise attack since Pearl Harbor.
First of all, the audacity to be in the Middle East as it's getting bombed and bring up an American tragedy, awesome. That's the USA right there, baby. Make it about us. Come on now. Being in the midst of a crisis and being like, y'all remember when this happened to us? Then this guy says like a prophecy or a riddle.
War will continue until the end. Desolations have been decreed.
Most nonchalant prophet I've ever seen. You're all gonna die? All right, I got some laundry to do. Let me head out. That guy doesn't really come back. Definitely not relevant to the plot. Don't know what that added exactly. You're not gonna give me the time? Really? You're gonna get me used to switching to a new location and updating the time, even if it's the exact same time. And then as soon as I'm curious when this is, because obviously it's a big jump cut into the future, you're like, you know, we're good with the times. It's fine, I told you to stop and you did and you listened, that's my bad, that's on me. But if you do the time again, you don't even know what's gonna happen to you. Bad things. Not really. I love you. We cut to one of the main characters, Rayford is his name. That's a name. And he's probably like the worst guy to exist ever, maybe?
Nice touch with the nose ring, Chloe. Why not just shave your head and get it over with?
Very funny.
That's his daughter, who he loves dearly. I hope she gets raptured just so we can see the nose ring clatter to the ground. I think that'd be a funny shot. He's a pilot, so he's gone a lot of the time. And for some reason, he's really mean to his wife and children. That's just what he does.
Or a sword. One of those long, pointy sticks that they put heads on.
Don't push it.
He's actually having an affair with a flight attendant. He's not gonna get raptured. I think it's a safe bet to say he's not gonna make the cut. The cut is knowing Jesus, and he doesn't really seem to be vibing with the whole Jesus thing.
Yeah, me too.
Classic Rayford. What a Rayford move. I'm gonna try that on my wife tonight at dinner and film it. See how that goes.
I love you.
Me too.
What?
I said me too. Side note, this is the only time we hear from this kid, and he's the coolest kid ever.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
I don't know what it is, but it's like the coolest sounding dialogue ever.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. All right. Okay. Sunday school.
But we go back to Buck the reporter, who gets a spooky call.
I know who's behind those planes falling out of the sky.
Dirk, what are you talking about?
Not on an open line. Meet me at the usual spot.
So Buck goes to meet him to hear about this conspiracy.
Hey.
Ah! That's the scariest greeting I've ever seen. That's crazy. Imagine I saw you across the street and you're like, hey Vance, how's it going? And I was like, ah! He's like, the world's falling apart. And he says he has a flash drive, but he can't give it to Buck, which like, rude. You're gonna call him over to have a meeting and then not give him the information anyway. But he's very scared and manic and crazy. Hey, real quick, it's Vance from the future. Still haven't been raptured yet, so that's sick. If you haven't heard, I'm doing this thing called The Sprint. It's where I'm posting 10 videos in the next 2 months. This is number 2. So if you wanna join The Sprint, then subscribe. It's super fun. Anyways, get back to the video. Let's check in with my fear level. How scared do I feel right now? I definitely am a little bit nervous for the rapture. I think my heart rate has picked up a tiny bit. Not knowing exactly when it's gonna happen is scaring me. Fear meter is like a little bit of fear, okay? But it's silly enough that I don't feel that bad.
No, I can't give it to you. I can't risk you being caught with it. Caught by who? The NSA, the CIA, the...
Average conversation with my uncle at Thanksgiving. They rewatched the footage of the guy, and he's no longer speaking English.
What's he saying?
Whoa, machine. Etablet.
She says that he might be speaking Hebrew.
No, it sounds like Hebrew.
But like, are you not gonna check? You're like one of the world's best news agencies. You're not gonna like look into it a little bit? You're just gonna be like, it's probably fine. So we jump to the plane that Rayford is leaving his family to fly. And Buck is also on the plane, coincidentally, sniffing down leads.
Ready for coffee, guys?
Oh, absolutely. Black for me.
Right?
Yeah, same for me. Thanks, Eddie. So, what's this I hear about you leaving us?
They're talking about the rapture. They're like, what is this rapture thing you have scheduled on the calendar? What is it? Tell us about that. That's so interesting that you're doing that.
What, are you gonna take some time off?
I'm taking the job at the UN.
United Nations, if you will. Good for her, but you know, they never really explain how. What qualifications does she have that translates from like flight attendant to working in the United Nations? They never really explain that jump.
Honey?
But then it happens. Uh-oh, the rapture.
My husband, he's disappeared.
Eddie just slipped off to the restroom while you were asleep.
Would you mind checking, please? And take this.
Ma'am?
I think he's gone off naked.
He's like, I don't really want to find him now, actually. Let him roam the plane naked. Yeah, so the rapture happens. People are freaking out. There's just a bunch of seats with clothes on them. It would be funny if there was one person who just ran back from the bathroom naked, like, oh my gosh, I forgot my clothes. This is awkward. And they're like, wait, you didn't get raptured? Why are you naked? And he's like, Weird, long story. You know what I mean? People get raptured all over. It happens to the entire world. I got a little stressed watching it. Okay, I got a little scared. My tolerance for scary stuff is very low, and this did kind of get to me. But that's why we're watching it. We're pushing through. We're getting over the fear. Okay, I can feel myself processing it in real time. But I'm sweating. I'm sweating. That dog didn't go to heaven. Heathen, okay, heathen. I guess if all the animals got raptured, there would be no world left to live in, so it kind of makes sense that they're left. Rayford comes home and discovers that his wife and son have been raptured. Super sad part of the film. I think this is like peak anxiety for me. Toughest part of the film. Actor does a good job. That's the one thing I've noticed about this movie is that the actors are like low-key pretty good. Like there's some awkward dialogue here and there, but for the most part, they're like good performances. It's just like the editing is a little weird, you know? Like it just makes them have like weird pauses or like all of a sudden like crazy reactions out of nowhere. That makes it a little goofy. But this guy's playing this really well. Oh, his wife forgot her Bible. Now she's in heaven. That's like the #1 place to have your Bible. That's, oh, what a thing to forget. I'm just kidding. I'm sure they have it up there too, so she's chill. His daughter then comes home. They have a very nice reunion, like, oh, you're still here? Good. Buck is still looking for answers. No one seems to know what's going on.
The guy on the radio quoted a good one from the Bible. You know the story about the two men standing in a field? One gets taken, the other guy just left standing there. It's, two women standing in a kitchen. One gets taken, the other one's left doing the dishes.
And I love that he laughs like that. I don't know what he's laughing at. The idea of like a woman disappearing or the idea of a woman doing dishes. I can't tell. It's weird. It's like, I guess they've heard of the rapture, but they're not even considering it as an option. They're like, you know that weird Christian theory that explains all the stuff happening right now? That's dumb. What a dumb idea.
I have been going out of my mind, driving all over looking for you. Where did you go?
That's kind of funny. I have been out of my mind looking for you. Where did you go? She's like, I'm here currently right now. I'm sitting right here. Do you not see me? Where are you? I'm worried sick. I want to find you. I'm right here, Dad. Like, what do you?
We should try the church.
Yeah. Don't start.
If your mom was right, nobody will be there anyway, huh?
Don't make fun of her, not now.
This is what I don't get. He's like making a joke about the rapture. He's like, you know that weird theory your mom had that all the Christians would disappear? well, let's go see if it's real. It probably isn't. I think they're going for the thing like, oh, even if there was proof, people wouldn't believe. Which like, I guess like fair, like faith isn't built on proof. It's the whole point of faith. But they keep bringing up the idea and then shooting it down immediately. They laugh about it like it's ridiculous. People just disappeared out of nowhere. You shouldn't rule anything out. In this scenario, magic just happened. Like, let's figure this out. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, sad. What if he was also raptured in the drawing? Wow. My kid sucks at drawing. He just turned in a blank piece of paper. Or it'd kind of be like a sad thing. It would seem like he wrote, I want to be like my dad, and then he just didn't draw him. He's just like, oh, I guess I wasn't really there for him. He was like, I want to be like my dad. Gone. So Buck goes looking for Dirk, who's the guy who was like crazy with a conspiracy theory, and he was murdered. Me when I find a dead body. Dang it, gosh. He doesn't call the police or alert the authorities. All he does is just take the flash drive and then goes to play it immediately, which is like not a good look for him. I mean, the police are gonna show up and find his fingerprints all over him. Now would be a good time to explain the bad guys of the movie. Again, this movie is very vague. They don't go into many details. But what we do know is that there's these two bankers who want to steal the formula and use it to control the world's food supply to get rich, supposedly. I don't really know. They've hired this man named Nikolai, who works with the UN, and they're using him to try and get the formula from the guy. They're saying they're trying to get world peace, but they're secretly trying to get rich, get the formula, control the food, and Dirk was on to them. So they murdered him. They murdered him dead. And the hitman also tries to murder Buck. He's like the worst hitman ever. So bad. Were you aiming for the computer? Like, I get it, you like don't want him to see the computer. Oh no, the information. It would have been much simpler if you just aimed at his head. You know what I mean? If you just killed him. That would make this process so much easier. Then you could shoot the computer. And then he keeps shooting while Buck is on the floor. Not even close to where Buck is. I think he just wants to destroy things. He like shoots this vase. Buck is already out of the room at that point. So Rayford goes to his wife's church, maybe to reminisce or look for her, and he finds that the pastor of the church did not get raptured. And it's a really sad moment, and this actor's great, but it does feel a little silly at times. And again, I think it's more the editing than the acting, because there's a lot of very sudden movements out of nowhere, just strange choices happening in this scene. Oh God! He's moving around like a parkour artist. I feel like on his resume when he auditioned for the role, he said he could do parkour, and they're like, okay, we gotta work this in somehow.
Hello, I'm Pastor Vernon Billings of the New Hope Village Church.
And him and this pastor are watching a tape that another pastor left behind explaining the rapture. But now Rayford knows what's going on. So Buck goes to visit his old reporter friend. And she greets him like how everyone greets everyone in this universe apparently, in a terrifying manner.
Listen, I got a lead on the vanishings. It's shaky, it's insane, but it's all I've got. What the heck?
Language, buddy, language. This is a Christian movie, buddy. You can't be saying that. But as someone who says what the heck, it never sounds cool. It never does. Especially when you're looking at war plans. Whoa, it's war plans to bomb and invade an entire nation? What the heck? What the heck? The world today, gosh. Also, who made these war plans? They're not very great. So we're attacking Israel, right? Yes. And we want plans, correct? Mm-hmm, yeah. All right, I think we should go towards them.
These letters, DAN7.
They're discovering gamer tags for the first time. Big Chungus 67. What could this possibly mean? So Buck starts to uncover this conspiracy. He starts to see that maybe there's a connection between the assault on Israel and the famines going on and the formula, that maybe there's someone behind everything. And so he goes to meet with a guy who's a part of the UN.
Here's some money. Fill her up.
This is the most aggressive woman I've ever seen. She's incredible. I love her so much.
Come on, you're gonna have to go now.
Don't.
Come on.
So Buck, trying to uncover this conspiracy, meets up with this guy who was part of the UN that Dirk sent an email to. He wants to figure out what Dirk had sent him.
It's financial stuff. Stonigal and Cawthron have been loaning billions to the UN for years, and they're getting ready to call it a loan.
You're trying to control the world's food supply.
The bankers are trying to control the world's food supply. They keep saying it. Don't really know exactly what their plan is to do that, but that's what they're trying to do.
It shouldn't take us too long to get to where we need to go.
Good.
You spare $1 for an old grandma.
Ma'am,
Just give me $1. That's all. Just $1. Come on, just $1 is not going to break you. Oh, gosh.
The explosion goes off. His knee is immediately covered in blood, so that doesn't really make sense. Was it the old woman who tried to hurt them? No, it's the hitman. He just stands there and watches while his target is alive. Like, he doesn't go and finish the job. It'd be so easy. He's just laying there. Like, genuinely the worst hitman ever. So Buck is in Chicago and needs help. And the only person he knows from Chicago that he feels safe visiting is Rayford, whom he knows very briefly from the plane. So he visits their house.
But you're the only ones they don't know.
And they take him to the church to patch him up. And because he's at the church, they start telling him about what's actually happening with the rapture. They discover that the gamer tags are actually Bible verses.
Ezekiel 38.
Those codes. They're Bible verses?
About prophecies, about what's about to happen. Which as like an evil villain, kind of like a bad move. Like one, it means that you believe it and you're acknowledging that you're the bad guys. Two, if someone discovers it, it's just letting them know what's going on. So it's like, why did you need this in the first, you know what I mean? Like Buck leaves to go stop them. He doesn't really have a plan. He's just like, I gotta tell them to stop. You know the people in the United Nations who are really powerful? I gotta say, stop it, don't do that, don't, come on now. So Buck goes to the UN to stop this plan. And who does he run into but the flight attendant, who's probably doing an amazing job at the UN with her flight attendant skills. You know, keeping everyone very safe in their seats, getting them snacks and stuff. All the things you need at the UN. And she offers to bring Buck to Nikolai, the guy working at the UN that the bad guys hired from earlier, that guy. Spoiler alert, Nikolai is actually evil. He's playing everyone for a fool. But you can tell that this is the case. One, because he's Russian. And I can promise you this very American movie is gonna have the evil one be Russian. And two, as soon as she starts working for the UN, she becomes like a robot, this like creepy robot.
He's a great man. There's no question this is the right place to be.
Nikolai is the best. He is good. She just like becomes so creepy. Then they tell Nikolai everything, all the conspiracies that Buck has uncovered, which is a bad idea because he's like the villain. One tip off that he's evil, he keeps saying like, we will have 7 years of peace. It's this big thing that he's claiming.
This marks the beginning of our 7 years of peace.
But then it's like, what about after the 7 years? What are your plans for that? Like, you're like, I mean, after 7 we'll fight and kill each other for sure. But for 7 years, it'll be fun. Buck realizes that Nikolai is actually the evil one, and he kicks himself because he's like, oh yeah, he's Russian. Oh, I knew the Russian guy was bad, golly. And we get some nice evil villain looks. Nikolai is serving some looks in this, I'll be honest. He's a sassy little villain, that's all I'm gonna say.
Upon each of you, I grant all the power and authority. We're now kings and queens.
He really was surprised to say that. He'd be like, you'll be kings and queens. Sorry, didn't see you. Are we sure we're cool with this? Are we sure we're cool with her in here? Cool, yeah. No, queens are cool. Queens are good. We love queens.
It's about you two, serpents in my garden, using unity and prosperity for your own gain.
Nikolai has these like weird Jedi mind powers. Don't know if that's what the Bible says will happen or not, but it's pretty creepy.
Nikolai.
Sit down,
Nikolai kills these 2 bankers and uses his Jedi mind powers to gaslight everyone into thinking that the bankers attacked him. And then it ends with everyone except the Christians falling under Nikolai's spell. Super scary. The ending is like so haunting. It's like so depressing.
Are in such...
I know. Privileged position. I intend to do whatever I can to help Nikolai.
If this is true, and the Antichrist has come into power, then this is just the beginning. The next 7 years are going to be the worst that mankind has ever seen.
That's the end of the movie. Very dramatic ending. This movie really plays into the like, God's wrath is coming, be afraid. Which like, I get, if you believe in Jesus, you're like, hey, I want to respect God. I want to fear him in the way of like, treating him as an authority figure, like respecting my position under him. But like, God loves you. He's not gleefully waiting to punish you. You can fear him, but you don't need to be afraid of him, if that makes sense. You know, I don't know. I'm not a pastor. I didn't go to theology school, so there's probably a better answer out there. I don't know. I was still pretty scared though. I don't do well with horror. It was a pretty silly movie, so that helped. It helped to laugh. Thanks for watching with me. I appreciate it. Jesus loves you. Subscribe if you want. You don't have to. You can watch this video too. Or you could just go outside and enjoy this world while we have it. Okay, bye.